Right now I work at a school where we are on the hybrid schedule. So blended learning is like the perfect model that we can use because we see half of our kids on Monday, Wednesday, and the other half of our kids are at home. So it's perfect to like have the at-home kids watch a little lecture. So when they come in Tuesday and Thursday, we can kind of get right onto the activity. So these are a couple of tools that I have found to be either already helpful because I've kind of dabbled with Pear Deck already, or after this module I have found that seem very interesting and intriguing, and I kind of excited to give them a shot in my classroom. The first one I want to talk about is Pear Deck. This is one that I kind of already use. I've only used it a handful of times. I'm still kind of playing with it, but I really do enjoy it. I've used it both at home on my students' like home day, as like preparation for what we're going to do in class the next day, but I've also used it in my class with my face-to-face learners too. So you can either go to, peardeck.com, sign in, and you can create a lesson from here, from this deck, that you can kind of start inputting your questions, your activity, whatever. Or what I like to do is, now it works best under Chrome, the Chrome extension, is I like to go ahead and pre-make my slides. And what I like to do is you just go to add-ons, open the Pear Deck add-on, and so in order for my students to kind of guess which one of us is left-handed, instead of having a couple shout out if they're doing this on their phone or on their devices, I can either make it a multiple choice slide and make it like a poll, and I can put like my name and my co-teacher's name, and they have to pick one or the other. So this is just like a simple way to use it, a little bit more effective way to use this in the classroom, or how I've liked to use it was when I was teaching how to embed textual evidence and properly parenthetically cite that textual evidence. So here I asked this question. We had just read chapter 7, and on this slide, what the students would see is they would actually have a text box. So they answer, they type in their responses. And as they're working, I give them a few minutes to get to work, and then I can actually display all of their responses on the board in real time. It's literally like Google Docs. As they type, it will literally show them typing. However, the cool thing is it does remain anonymous, so students don't know who is who. At least in this view, I can go back in later on the teacher side and see who did what. But I like showing it in real time because I can actually go over it with them in that moment. So I can point out if they've made a mistake. So maybe in this sentence I would point out, like, make sure that there's a space between the closing quotations and the first parenthesis for your citation. And we've already kind of done most of the corrections for these, so there's really not many mistakes. But if they've accidentally put the period inside, we can talk about it as a class. I can ask, hey, so what's wrong with this citation? And students can point out, oh, that period needs to go after the citation. And it's just a kind of an interactive way for them to learn how to properly cite without being called on or like called out directly for making a mistake. It is completely anonymous. As long as they're following along and they know which response was theirs, they can make the corrections without people knowing it's them. Now, one that I've seen in this unit that looks very interesting and intriguing is this GIM kit. And I think it would be best suited for teachers who do a lot of just review type questions. So I just kind of created a practice one, and you can do your own. So you can create your own GIM kit and make your own questions, or you can add questions from already made GIM kits. And I just copied somebody else's, I'm going to be honest. I did not do this myself. I just quickly threw these questions in from somebody else's. So here are these like questions for the book night that I usually teach with my sophomores. So when we're ready to play, it's like it's a review game, but it's more than just answer the question, did you get it right or did you get it wrong? We're gonna hit play. And this is where we kind of pick the game that you want to play. There was one called Trust No One, which was similar to Among Us, which is really popular with the kids, and I tried to create my own Among Us game with Google Slides, which wasn't as interactive as it could have been, I think, but we're going to pick the infinity mode. So basically with this one, we're just going to continue. This is the code, so we need at least 2 players, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in over here. What was that code? 29211. 29211. Now a name, I'm just going to put Ariana for this one. I'm going to put my last name for my other login on my phone. So we both sit here until the teacher starts the game. So this is where I can kind of view everything as it happens in real time. And then the students, this is what the students will see. For every question that they get right, they earn money. And they can continue. Now, again, like I said, these questions, if you don't have like 1,000 questions, they will repeat. So if you only have 10 questions, they will just keep cycling through all 10 sections or 10 questions. So I guess try to come up with as many as you possibly can. So for every one you get right, you get money. When you have a streak, it like, the more you get correct in a row, the more money you get for each answer. So when you get one wrong, you lose money, and you can view the correct answer, and then you start back at the lowest amount when you start getting them correct again. So when the players start to get a lot of money, they can go up here to the shop, because the whole point of this game is to be the first one to get all 6 infinity stones. So you have to go to the shop, and so right now I can only afford to buy 2 stones. So I'm going to buy the soul stone. And I'm going to go back up here because oh, no, I can't buy anything yet. But now I'm going to go back up, or I could have hit shop from that screen, and I'm going to buy the time stone. So now I have 2 of the 6, and so I'm getting closer to being the first person to win the game. So that you just keep going through this until the game's over, and the kids just, it's a fun, interactive way for them to review, or whatever it is you were reviewing. But GameKit has lots of other options, and it's just an engaging way for them to review whatever unit or segment you are teaching.